ever worse. The lightning streaked across the sky as the rain hit against the windshield. He knew that he would not escape them. They were far too powerful, far too fast. His car sputtered as the gas left his tank. He was stranded. Then he saw it, on all fours, scuttling rapidly behind him, getting closer and closer to the car, until finally it enveloped him in darkness. And the beast ripped the doors off of his vehicle, pulling him out in the process. And as he looked up at his captor, at this being, he realized that it was a monster unlike any he'd ever seen. And the monster finally broke the silence by saying, "It's my birthday! Happy birthday, Grimace!" Yeah!
I fucking knew it was going to be Grimace. God damn it. I was like, it's going to be fucking Grimace.
Yeah. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Hello, welcome.
Hello and welcome. Spooky vibes up in here. Yeah, man. I thought that was really fun. Like that little horror soundscape. Fucking feels good. But my name is Fred Stewart. And with me, as always, my lovely co-host, Taylor.
Hello.
Hello, Tay.
Hi. How are you?
I'm all right. Getting over my sickness, from trying to at least. And with us, running cameras and sound, is our resident devil, Marty Cowick. Understandable. Mm-hmm. Now you're probably wondering, why are all these horror soundscapes playing? And I have a very simple answer. We're covering Reddit scary stories yet again. It's happening. We're doing it again because they're really fun. And I think this is the first ever time we've done it with Marty.
I think
we did
so.
it once before.
Oh, we did one.
We did one with Marty. Okay. So I'm a fucking liar. So that's fun.
Fuck you, Marty.
Yeah.
Had to bring it up.
So,
I mean, I'm sorry. This is the first time it's ever happened with me.
okay, this is thank you, Marty. We have compiled a list of some of the best and worst stories on the internet. And very excited to get into them. Marty is going to be playing some sounds from the website that we go through. Has all these royalty-free sounds and noises and things like that. And he's going to pick sounds that he thinks is the best throughout the podcast. So we just get random ambient noise. It's going to be fun.
This will be good.
Marty, you excited for that?
I am.
Oh, shit.
I'm very excited.
Spooky.
Perfect.
Very excited.
Well, with that scary noise, Marty, did you see the little like circle arrow thing that's next to all those sounds?
Yeah.
So if you click on that, it loops it.
Mm.
So that way, in case you want to know, that's how you continuously play the sound. So fun.
Okay.
So that way you know that. Can you give me a scary sound so we can? How about this? You guys ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mind if I start off?
That's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna do 2 right off the bat. Marty, can you give me some scary ambient noise?
Maybe.
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah.
The face he made.
You guys ready? These 2 are very quick.
That?
Back to back. Ready? I talk to my brother every night. My brother died 3 years ago. I have many brothers. So our next one. This one's called a Ghost Train. I hear this story from my grandfather. I hope it's true. One day in England, there was a train and it was going from one station to the other station and had passengers on board. It was a green-colored train. It goes over the bridge real fast, about 600 miles an hour. But it was in the countryside, so no one saw it. And the creepy part is, it never come to the next station and they never found the train.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all I got.
There we go. That's it. That's that one.
Did you just type in scream?
Yeah.
I almost spit my fucking drink all over Taylor. Oh,
That was the first one on screen. Let's see if that
dude, Taylor has no idea. I'm like covered. Wow. I tell you what, dude, it was so startling that I almost like, I didn't know what to do. Wow. That was fun.
Just like that, we are rolling.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Also, if we have any repeats, I do apologize. We should probably have gone back and looked at the other Reddit scare stories we did. So if there's repeats, you get to hear the story again. Isn't that fun?
I don't think I have any repeats.
I don't know.
Personally.
we'll
I've never
see.
read any of these stories. So. Do you want me to start off with like a real one? Or
Well, yeah, probably. You probably should do that.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I've also got some stupid ones.
Well, of course. Listen, art is art, Tay.
It's true.
Marty, can we get some more ambient horror, please?
Yeah, I'll keep it coming.
Ideally not the scream.
Hit that little loop icon too, make sure.
It's on there.
All right. So this one is I'm a Good Father by user YDunMQN. All I can remember were her whimpers, the pain she was in. My daughter means everything to me. How could I do this? As I stared at the lifeless body of this deceased little girl, I couldn't stop the tears from streaming down my face.
I'm a good father.
I repeat.
I'm a good father.
I try to convince. She just left me with no choice. Her words, the torment. I don't care what anyone says. I know evil, even when it hides behind the eyes of a 14-year-old girl, and if I didn't stop her now, it'd be too late.
I'm a good father.
I repeat to myself after I dig up the hole in the ground.
I'm a good father.
I repeat to myself after I drop her body into her premature grave. I cover up all evidence of me and drive back home. I take a breath as I walk into my house, and as I shut the door, I hear footsteps come up from behind me. My daughter staring at me, pale face and eyes puffy, almost as if she'd been crying all night. Did you talk to her? She asked me tiredly. I stare at her blankly before I muster up words. Ever since we moved to this neighborhood, my baby girl has been tormented and bullied relentlessly by her classmate, and I promised her I would handle it.
She wasn't home, kiddo. I'll make sure to drop by again first thing tomorrow.
I said, I'm a good father, and a father protects their children, even if I have to bury someone else's.
Dude, that's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
That was so intense.
That's a pretty good one, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry that if you didn't want me to read those
No, you're
parts,
good.
but I was like, I'm invested right now, and I'm like, get this, it's the voice acting. I fucking love voice acting. So, yeah, that was fun. That was a very fun. That was pretty spooky. It's pretty fucking heavy though. It's also like the horror and like
It was a good one.
So this one comes from Nomas39. It's called Pregnancy Cravings. It started off normally enough at first. As my wife's pregnancy progressed, she randomly decided she needed some French fries or chocolate milk or peanut butter. Cravings like these were normal, but their intensity was concerning. When not provided exactly what she craved, she quickly ended up bedridden, writhing in anguish as if physically ill. Doctors didn't know what to make of it, but the treatment seemed obvious. Give her what she wanted. But as months passed, her cravings became more bizarre and specific, and the hunger deeper, leaving her screaming in hysterical agony until it was satiated. Eventually, I was faced with the most extreme request thus far: a live rat. I know you must think I'm insane to have said yes, but you weren't there. You didn't have to watch the love of your life wail like a beaten animal as she thrashed against any bindings, smashing her skull against the wall till it almost cracked. I couldn't bear to watch her in such pain. Excuse me. Her appetite only grew, and I felt like a monster as I took to raiding pet stores for bigger and bigger meals. But I only did it out of love. At 9 months, the end of the nightmare seemed so near. But then it happened one day. When she was watching the neighborhood kids play in the street through our bedroom window, she turned to me with eyes wet with misery and fear and confessed her latest craving. A child. A living human child. I could tell from the look in her eyes that the thought terrified her as much as it did me. But she couldn't control it, and when she was denied, the outburst was nothing like I'd ever seen. The scratching, the clawing, the grinding of teeth, and frantic thrashing and sobbing, the feral baying, and the way she tore the room apart, what seemed like superhuman strength, and the unfathomable hunger that ravaged her. But it was only by some act of God that I was able to restrain her. This had gone too far. I finally called the police and told her I had to have her institutionalized for her own safety. But by the time we returned to the bedroom door, the wailing had stopped. Somehow, the sound was more terrifying. As I held my breath, I cracked open the door and peeked into the fathomless dark. "Oh God," I whispered, "oh God." She had broken her wrist to escape her bindings and was squatted naked in filth. Her nails were gone, her belly torn apart, and I realized she had clawed it open. She took ravenous bites from a small, formless chunk of bloody meat in her hands. I caught only a glimpse of her eyes, wide, bloodshot and feral, tears streaming down her cheeks. She choked out sobs. "I'm sorry. She wheezed as she crunched a tiny hand between her teeth. I was just so hungry.
That's a pretty good one. I'd seen that one while I was searching.
Yeah, I thought that when I read that, I was like, whoa. Yeah. Just the overall, like, it's a fucking really fun story. But not that eating kids is fun, but it might be. I know eating adults is fun.
Excuse me?
Yeah, biggest prey. Now, it is a really fun, like not fun, but it's like that fucking story part of like the ripping, like out of the stomach, and just like I can like the visualizations of it are like so intense. It's kind of like we went and saw the latest Insidious last night.
Oh yeah,
and we didn't even talk about that, but it was pretty fun.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Taylor's first time seeing an Insidious movie.
I've never seen a single one except for that one,
which is pretty crazy that we even went and saw it and she'd never seen it.
It was good. I liked it.
But Taylor was also like, I love horror movies. Like, what have you seen? And she's like, I haven't seen any. She's like, oh, okay. So you
I've
don't.
gotten better.
So you don't. You've gotten better. It's because I've literally been like, we're sitting down, and you're watching this.
I enjoy horror now more than I used to when I was younger.
Because you didn't watch it.
Yeah, because I didn't like it. I didn't like being scared.
Oh, that's so fucking stupid. You're like,
I had enough
like,
torment just in real life. I didn't need to be scared from movies too.
And I didn't like getting tattoos as a kid, but now as an adult, I like getting tattoos. You know why? Because I didn't get fucking tattoos as a kid. So it's like, what are you talking about? Literally makes zero fucking sense.
What else is too? We just watched the new Evil Dead right before we started recording this podcast.
Yeah,
it was fucking good, dude.
It was actually pretty solid. It's
I liked it.
I feel like it's Evil Dead. I feel like the first one and two are probably the peak.
Yeah,
and obviously, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely gory, but it was felt like more of an action movie, like a gory action movie. But I guess that's kind of what Evil Dead is. But
yeah,
but yeah, it was fun. Now, Tay, what do you got?
I got another one.
Oh, okay. That's super helpful. What the fuck, man? Can you fucking chill out over there? So as you can see, we've changed how Haunts, Graves, and Omens kind of looks a little bit. We've changed the lighting, given some effects and all that stuff, and we're trying to take a new step in direction, trying to make a production value a little bit better, trying to add sounds and shit during our episodes, and so this is kind of our first test of all that, and so far it's going great.
I don't know how you guys felt about like the sounds during that last story, but it almost made it like more spooky.
It was a little loud, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Take notes, Marty.
I mean, I tried to like go up and down based on like the
it was good
part of the story, you know.
You did a good job.
As far as volume
I'm proud of you.
Good job, Marty.
If I was over there, I'd kiss you on the lips.
Oh, thanks, man.
Kiss him on the lips. All right.
Why am I in the middle of this?
Do you want to be in the middle of
it? No.
You have to hold me and Marty back from each other? We're like, you can't take my husband. He's like, he's never truly yours.
All right.
Me and Marty are going to go on a camping trip with our horses on Brokeback Mountain. Anyway.
Excuse me.
I'm ready.
All right. So this is Double Income, No Kids by user Guy Ox. After getting married, it didn't take long for Julie and I to start trying for a baby. It also didn't take long for us to realize that having children wouldn't be easy for us. All our family and friends had gotten pregnant so effortlessly, but try as we might, we couldn't after months of attempts. Following that, we turned to IUI, which also led nowhere. Finally, we pulled money together for IVF. We proceeded with egg retrieval, sperm sampling, and implantation, finally getting a positive pregnancy test only for it to end in miscarriage. There can only be a rainbow baby after the infertility storm is gone, everyone reassured us. We talked about trying IVF again one day, but it seemed hopeless. Why bother when we seemed destined for bleak, gray existence without children? Years passed. That's when the Stanwyck Changs entered our lives. Glamorous, chic, cultured, toned, the couple that moved in across the street instantly made an impression with their palatial home and matching BMWs. When they came over to introduce themselves, him wearing a Ralph Lauren blazer and her a Gucci bandage dress, we realized that was only part of their perfect package. Carl Stanwyck was a sales executive and Jemima Chang was a oncologist.
I think it's a pediatric. I believe they spelled pediatric wrong.
I think it might be the British spelling. Personally. I don't know.
British spell things wrong.
No, they weren't billionaire moguls or royal heirs. Theirs was an open secret to success. Double income, no kids. Their words were so simple yet optimistic. Every dollar from their combined salaries that would have gone into a child, their clothing, schooling, toys, could instead be channeled into the goal of personal satisfaction. Whether that was boutique shopping sprees, country club weekends, or fancy spa trips, anything was accessible. Julie worked as a sous chef and I, an orthodontist. With a few tweaks, we could be living that same life. The more we learned about their approach, the more enchanting it became. We'd never before questioned the idea that we must be parents. The grief we'd felt over our fertility struggles seems silly now. Our enamor with the world only grew when they took us along on one of their exciting European vacations. We went wine tasting in rolling vineyards, dancing in glittering discos, sailing on their yacht across the Positano Bay. It was here we finally felt complete amidst sea spray and with not a single cloud in sight. Just clear blue skies. This could be our life too. We could have all this pleasure. All we have to do is kill Timmy. Yes, we had ended up unexpectedly falling pregnant a year after the miscarriage. Yes, Julie did birth the rainbow baby we wanted. Yes, we'd left our son with family while venturing into Carl and Jemima's beautiful DINK world. But now it's time to clear up the mistake and live our new dream. There can only be a rainbow after the storm is gone, and there can only be clear blue skies after the rainbow is gone.
Damn, dude.
That's pretty fucking... That's fucked.
That's pretty fucked. Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Damn, dude. Nice. That was spooky.
It's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
I like that. That was fun. A lot of kid death in this so far.
That's a pretty common theme, I feel like, in horror.
Pretty wild. Both of your stories involved that. And then my story, my one story. I don't know. Pretty odd, I guess. What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's just a sound called Dirty Motherfucker.
What the fuck?
It's on the spooky page.
What the fuck? Dirty Motherfucker.
Dirty Motherfucker.
From the director of The Conjuring.
From the director of The Conjuring.
All right. I think I got my next one. I'm ready to go. Just gotta wait for Marty to...
Oh, you're good.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
You don't like it?
No, I'm just, you're just not changing any cameras or anything.
God damn it. I'm focused on, too focused on sounds now. You guys got me on the sound game.
Oh, okay.
And I need to put my
Yeah,
games together.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Put my games
It's
together.
our fault you're not doing your job. Of course. I keep forgetting that we have to do it for you. I'm sorry. You think it's a fucking joke?
I'm learning, okay? It's all new to me.
You're lucky I'm not wearing a belt. Then again, I'm wearing basketball shorts, so it could be kind of fucking stupid if I was wearing a belt. All right. So this one's called I Work for a Police Department on a Small Island. Weird things happened here. I work on an island. Said island is located off the northeast coast of the United States. It is relatively unknown to most, other than those who have seen that one movie that was filmed here. Sure, in the summer, when it was warm, we would get a rapid and super flourish influx of foreign tourists who were excited to see a real beach and experience the quaint small town American lifestyle. But for most on this tiny island, there's maybe 1,000 folks who live here year round. At least that's how many people you will see actively moving about. There's probably more than that, but the rest are reserved redneck hermits who spend a grand total of 15 minutes a year in direct sunlight. You may have heard of this island. Hell, you've even vacationed anywhere in the Northeast. There's a good chance you know which island I'm talking about. Please, for the sake of sanity of all readers and listeners, for myself as the writer, keep it to yourself. If you don't know which island I'm talking about, perfect. Stay the fuck away. There are many reasons I say that, but the top 3 would be 1, this place is boring. After the summer crowds leave, all we have here is one movie theater, the bowling alley, people like to get high inside of, and a few pizza joints of varying quality. 2, you will almost certainly get sick of the ferry ride to my island. For the most part, the employees of the ferry company are grumpy folks who have little to no interest in your comfort and live by the unofficial slogan of, we're not happy until you're not happy. And 3, if you are not a seasoned islander or exceptionally well-trained, armed, and smart, there's a pretty good chance you will last about 3 days here before you disappear. I've been working as a police officer here for a few years now. I am by no means an expert, nor am I that old, but I do think I know my way around the job, and I cannot begin to count all the missing persons reports that we get here. It's astounding, really. I don't mean we have a few reports here and there than the national average. I mean we get 3 to 4 people a week disappear right out from under people's noses with zero warning. A town the size of ours has a pretty significant number. At this point, investigating them was an exercise in futility. Excuse me. Last year, we lost something around 200 people in total. Want to know how many people we found? 3. 3 people. These 3 people were, for the most part, unscathed as well. They reassimilated into society fairly easily, and the only real problem with them was the fact that not one of them had any fingers. It was really quite interesting to see. I don't really mean they cut them off or anything, but it looks like these people were born with no fingers. I knew one of them. He used to have fingers. He still denies that, and I've stopped trying to convince him. That's just one of the many strange things that happen here, honestly. Working as a cop isn't exactly easy when half of all breaking and entering cases, the victim claims the burglar is a lizard/dog hybrid person. I don't know exactly what they mean by that, but the number of cases that with that commonality is too high to not take personally. Makes writing reports fun, at least. My partner and I have seen some crazy things, so weird animal people don't sound quite as far outside of the realm of possibilities to us as they might to others. Anyway, I wanted to start documenting some of these things that go on here. I was told last week by one of my usual suspects, Jonathan, that people who aren't from around here may get a kick out of things that we do on a daily basis. I figured on the internet was the best place for this. I have seen how open-minded most people are, but whether you believe any of this or not doesn't really matter much. Hopefully, you can enjoy it either way. I'm not entirely sure where to start the story. I can tell you about the time that we got a call to one of our local cemeteries. Every single grave had been unearthed, and all 432 bodies were mysteriously missing. We found them a little bit later, inside the grocery store when the manager came in to open it for business. They appeared as if they had been staged to look like they were shopping. This happened between 7 and 7:30 a.m. when the on-site caretaker was taking his daughter to school, which seemed a bit uncharacteristically fast for most teenage pranksters. I could talk about the time when every single spoon on the island vanished, including my own set. Those, unlike the 432 corpses, were never recovered, and the case is technically still open. Honestly, however, these are just everyday occurrences for us. Normal is a relative term here. One of the stranger events happened on my last night shift. Me and my partner Colin were on the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. most shifts, so we're usually around when these things go bump in the night. We got a call for such bump a few days back. At 3:33 a.m., we heard 700 Delta unit, Delta 27. I responded back to my cruiser mic. We have a report of an intruder, and they removed the address as to protect the owner's privacy. The RP states that they heard several inexplicable noises in their basement. I sighed and looked at Colin before answering. Received 700 myself and Delta 28 are en route. We flipping on our lights and sirens. I slowly pulled our cruiser from where we had been parked on the side of the road and made my way towards the downtown residence. We arrived not 10 minutes later and exited the vehicle. You want to take this? asked Colin. He looked like shit. I suspected that he had yet to sleep since the night before. I said, sure, buddy, and knocked. I'd barely grazed the door with my knuckles when it flew open, and I heard I had nearly put my fist in the young woman's nose. Thank goodness you're here, she exclaimed. I had never seen her before, which was strange to me because I've met with most people on this rock at least on one occasion. She was short and plump and with dark brown hair, and introduced herself as Kathy with 2 Ks. She was wearing a Star Wars pajamas and looked like she was a little older than me. After introduction, she invited Colin and I into her house. I heard someone moving around in my basement. I'm the only one home. My wife is at a conference off of the mainland, Kathy explained. At first, I thought it could be a small animal, but then I heard a voice. I've been too scared to go down there, so I called you. I nodded. We'll check it out, ma'am. Don't worry. Why don't you go wait outside, all right? Is there an exit for the basement? I asked, trying not to sound as excited as I felt. I mean, maybe I'd finally get to see that lizard dog man thing. Who wouldn't be excited? She shook her head and nervously fiddled with her shirt. Just don't open the basement closet, please. I looked at Colin. Why? He asked her slowly and deliberately. She continued to fidget around, look at her shoes. That's just where. I have a lot of things piled up in there, and they're fragile, and she trailed off. Well, ma'am, we may have to. Now, please go wait outside or in the living room away from the basement, I instructed her. Of course, we had to go look in the closet now. We drew our weapons and hit the basement light switch. Police department! I called out down the steps. No response. We carefully made our way down the steps into the basement. The basement was, however, a strong word. This place was solid concrete. Basically just a foundation that was littered with unlabeled cardboard boxes. I mean, stacked so high we couldn't see the whole room at any one point in time. Lots of blind spots. Fuck. There was a path, sort of, leading around the basement. Following it, we found a medium-sized wooden door at the very back wall. Well then, Colin stated. Must be the closet. Yep, I answered shortly. We waited. So you want to open it? I asked. No. Do you? He responded. Nope, I said, reaching for the handle. I made eye contact with my partner and then yanked it open so quickly, both of us pointing our Glocks and mounted flashlights inside, where we saw several thousand glass eyes looking directly at us. Whoa, yelled Colin, jumping back. I'll admit it, it's not what I expected to see. Maybe some bongs or meth lab even would have been less surprising than that. But that wasn't what it was. It was eyes. Huh, I muttered, more to myself. We kept our lights pointed in the oversized room, looking at the many shelved units the eyes were placed on. This must be cut out further into the ground, Colin thought out loud. I nodded, bringing my light slowly downward towards the floor. Just at the bottom of the back wall, it landed on a small hole. I stopped. Dude, said to Colin. Looks like something crawled in there, he stated. The hole was definitely too small for a human, but bigger than a mouse or a rat that could be. That the mouse or rat hole would be. Maybe it's, he started, when suddenly a small black and white creature raced past us on all fours. Oh, fuck, I yelled, turning around at the same time to see a puffy black and white tail disappear down the stairs. Was that a skunk? Asked Colin. My shoulders dropped. Yeah, I said, holstering my pistol. I think it was. We heard a shrill scream from upstairs and looked at each other. Kathy. We both yelled, sprinting upstairs. We found her cowering inside the living room door. It went up here, she stammered. She looked pale. It's okay, Kathy. It's just a skunk, I told her. Move away from the door so we can try to get him out of here without him stinking up your whole house. She nodded, swallowed, slowly moved away from the entrance. This is really gonna suck if I get sprayed, I thought to myself. The sight of my partner's face confirmed that he wasn't the only one with this thought. Slowly, Colin opened the door. I opened the last one. So by the rules of law enforcement bro code, his turn was up. Peeking into the dark room, we faintly made out a couch, a recliner, a fireplace, and a few more shelves. These ones had books on them, however, which was a pleasant change. What we didn't see, however, was a skunk. What do you want to do? Colin whispered. I shrugged. I say we loop around and try to force him out into the main hall, I suggested. Fuck it, was Colin's only reply. Fuck it worked for me. We both creeped in the room, moving clockwise behind the couch, to the fireplace, around the recliner, right back to where we started. No skunk. Here, skunky, 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 Colin whispered. Well, that was fucking rude, the voice said with a heavy Boston accent. We both froze. Who said that? I called out in the small room a few seconds. I did, asshole. Are you fucking deaf? Came the voice again. I drew my weapon and switched on the light. Colin did the same. Where are you? What are you doing here? I said to the disembodied voice. I'm right here, you dickhead. Our weapons turned to the floor between the chair and the couch, where the skunk was seated, looking up at us. No way that... Did it? Colin whispered me. I can hear you, you know, said the skunk. Yes, it did. I answered Colin's question in disbelief. I ain't an it, douchebag. I'm a he, yelled the skunk. What the fuck? How can you talk? I asked the rodent. How can you talk? Fuck, I thought you cops were supposed to be smart, he answered, annoyed. Don't ask dumb questions. I didn't appreciate this skunk's sass. Well, what are you doing here in this lady's house? Why aren't you, like, huddled up in a ground hole or something? I asked, equally annoyed. That's fucking racist, pig. Fuck you. What, just because I'm a skunk, I gotta live in a hole? Believe it or not, skunks also appreciate a finer household living, you know. It's fucking cold outside, the skunk shot back, like it had been obvious. Can you, like, watch your mouth? There's no need to be rude, Colin spoke up. You fucking call me like a pet. I ain't your fucking pet, asshole. I have 3 fucking kids. The skunk was raising his tail in addition to his voice. Okay, I yelled. How about this? I'll make you a deal with you, I said, looking at the skunk. He paused. What kind of deal? He said after a few seconds. I can't let you stay in this lady's house, okay? But what I can do, if you promise you won't stick up the car, is I'll take you back to the station. We can get you some food, and then you can spend the night there tonight, and we'll find somewhere nice for you tomorrow. I said, hesitating at the last bit. I was going to help a skunk go house shopping tomorrow on my day off. The skunk thought about this for a moment. Ain't I getting arrested or not? I ain't getting arrested or nothing? He asked slowly. Nope, I responded. He waited for a few more seconds and said, fine. But I get to ride shotgun. Deal. Hey, wait, Colin started speaking up, but I gave him a look that said, please don't anger the talking, walking stink bomb of doom. He shut up. The 3 of us walked out into the living room, and Kathy made a little squeal when she saw the skunk. Get it out of here, get it out, she cried. Fuck, lady, I didn't know I didn't ask for permission or nothing, but I have a name, you know, said the skunk. Kathy went pale. Did he just talk? She asked, her voice barely audible. Yes, he did, I answered with a smile. Oh, she muttered. Just before fainting right there on the floor, I considered calling an ambulance, but decided against it. She would wake up soon enough and see a skunk-free house. I just wish I had the chance to ask her about all the glass eyes in the basement. Hey, what's your name, by the way? Asked Colin. For the report, I mean. The skunk looked at him. My name, since you're polite enough to ask, is Daniel Sharps III. He responded, carrying his head a little bit higher. And who might you two be? I'm Officer Colin Schaefer, and this is my partner, Officer Holliday. Colin said to Daniel, gesturing to me. Daniel and the skunk looked at both of us and said, well then, pleasure to meet you both. This is pretty much where this one ends, but there are a few more details, of course. Telling our officer in charge about when we're putting Daniel, the talking skunk, in a holding cell, writing a report. Daniel's actually still at the station, and the chief decided to let him stay as long as he didn't stink up the place because he is quite an effective cockroach killer. I've had the last 2 days off and spent them quietly watching The Mandalorian, but I'm back on in a few hours, so I'm gonna try to grab a quick bite, take a power nap, and I'll post an update when I can. I just thought that was a really fun story.
Is that it?
Yeah. It's a very spooky, ominous. Okay. It's a very spooky, ominous story, and then you're like, it's just a skunk with a Boston accent.
I was thinking like that too. I was like, okay, well, the island though, like.
Yeah. That came from a Reddit user. Excuse me, I have it up here somewhere. Oh, geez, I must not have had it, but it came from a Reddit user, and I believe they have other fun stories like that. But I just love this kind of small town, like horror stories. Like there's all these weird shit happening. I like how they're just like, yeah, just keep them in the station, I guess.
That works. Great. Are you back on Screams, Marty?
That is on Screams, yeah.
Great. How are you feeling?
Pretty scared.
Mm-hmm.
Are you scared?
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 It cuts off so abruptly. You just stare it off?
Can you just play that? Can you cut to my close-up camera and just play that last screaming sound? No, the one before that. The one before that.
Why is it
that was fun.
cut off so abruptly?
All right.
Let's
get into Taylor's next story.
All right.
Yeah.
This one is I'm Scared of My Daughter by OK Antelope 6912. My daughter, 5 years old, is a beautiful little girl. But recently, she started exhibiting disturbing behavior. I do not want to admit this because I'm not sure if this is a result of my bad parenting. I'm a single mother and trying my best, but sometimes my beautiful daughter Haley worries me. At night, she screams and scratches on the wall. During the day, she tells me about her past life in which she had 2 parents and a brother. I'm wondering if this is because that is what she actually wants and pretends that it's what she has. It scares me. More often, she doesn't let me touch her and tells me I'm not her real mother. It absolutely breaks my heart. I know this is a terrible thing to think, but I'm starting to regret kidnapping her.
Ooh. Oh, shit. That's pretty spooky, man. Fuck, man.
You I think it's a twist.
That is a cool twist.
Because you don't think it's going there.
That was a pretty short one.
It was a pretty short one.
I can follow it up with another quick short one.
Sure. And I think this one's a longer one. Yeah.
Perfect. This one's called The Day of All the Blood. Mr. Cowick.
I'm telling the story, I suppose.
Mr. Cowick, thank you, sir. Really gonna need to get that horror drawn. I'm ready. Okay. Let's see what Marty chooses. It's a really quick one. Perfect. There was once a day of all the blood. A man started gushing blood everywhere. He went in the supermarket, but everyone got grossed out because of all the blood. People were slipping, and they were all disgusted. All the vampires chased the man. Finally, there was so much blood, they set the man into space. The scariest part is the man was you. Or it was a lady if you're a lady, and you just forgot about it. Ah! Ah! Ah!
This one's not like a super long one, but it is longer.
Okay. Yeah.
Are y'all ready, Marty? Choose your sound.
Choose your sound.
Choose your sound.
Just choose your sound in the like Mortal Kombat voice.
Choose your sound. Choose it. Ooh.
Okay, I can work with this.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
This is Rest Stop by user Humboldt Sushi. Humboldt Sushi. Where are we? Lena leans her head against her hand, trying to focus on the smiling woman across the table. The woman pushes a steaming mug across the smooth surface. You stopped at my house for a visit, she says calmly. We were just talking about where you want to go from here. Lena closes her eyes, fighting to clear her head. She hears a distant beeping and disembodied conversation. Where's Evie? She squints to blend the blurred edges of her vision. Your daughter is keeping Rufus company, remember? The woman says gently. Lena notices her daughter sleeping peacefully on the couch. A large black dog acts as a lazy sentry on the floor. The television is blank, leaving Lena to wonder where the conversation is coming from. The dialogue sounds muffled, almost as if underwater. And what is that beeping? The dog raises his head, and for a moment, Lena swears his eyes are an angry, unnatural vermilion, and the woman pushes the steaming mug closer to Lena, breaking the trance. All at once, Lena's mind goes wide again. What? She hesitates, trying to gather her thoughts. What were we talking about? The woman's eyes are kind. I know it's hard to concentrate. You were about to tell me where you want to go from here. I made a cup to help you think. Lena sips the beverage slowly. It's warm and sweet, but she can't place the flavor. It does clear her mind a bit, the beeping and the phantom conversation dulling. We were headed out from basketball practice, Lena says idly. The woman watches expectantly over the rim of her mug. Lena's head throbs dully. Where did this headache come from? In a moment, it all becomes clear. The speeding car crossing the double yellow line, the horn, the glass shattering. The woman touches Lena's hand. You need to choose where to go, she says softly. I'm expecting another visitor. Her mouth twists on the last word. Where? Where will Evie go? She fights to stay lucid. The woman casts a glance at the sleeping child. She'll be moving on too. It was immediate. The question is, do you want to go too? Lena doesn't hesitate, and she doesn't need her voice to answer. The woman just nods as the sound of crunching gravel and flash of headlights come closer. Your ride is here, she says, and I'll have to prepare for my next guess. Lena gathers Evie in her arms, savoring the feeling of her daughter cuddling into her. She walks through the door. Lena looks back to see the woman groggily rubbing her face at the table. Her host smiles once more for a moment. Lena sees her anew, all sharp angles. What was Rufus skitters into view, legs too long, joints bent awkwardly. Her host smiles, teeth stretching to her eyes as she closes the door. Not all my guests deserve a warm welcome.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
It's pretty spooky.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool like afterlife story.
Yeah.
Where like they died in a car crash, and that's like the ferryman.
Yeah.
Or the ferry lady. That's pretty cool.
I just like the end of not all my guests deserve a warm welcome.
Yeah.
It just was like, whoa.
That's pretty cool. Like, she kind of gives her like this warm, like, hey, it's okay. You got to figure out where we got to go though. It's, like best if you go together. Like,
yeah. It almost sounds like she was giving her the option of going back.
Yeah. And then that's really badass. And then like the end thought of like someone else, who's a devious person getting there, and then she just like, hello there, fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my next one is called My Wife Confessed the Worst Thing She Ever Did by Lighting Nations. Okay. Does going ahead with my shitty tall men prank make me an even shittier husband? Maybe. But see, Emma was always so gullible. Stupidly so. It's one of the things I loved most about her, honestly. We met while working part-time at the local cinema. And there we were, sweeping up leftover popcorn. And she said, "What's this?" In her right hand was a tool belt. The projector had probably malfunctioned and some repairman forgot his equipment. As a joke, I said, "Don't you know a construction worker died when building this place?" From that moment on, she wouldn't step inside screen 6. Didn't want to risk bumping into a ghost, you see. I thought it was cute, but just a few weeks later, my girlfriend ghosted me. So I asked Emma if she'd like to grab coffee sometime. Rather than directly tell her the urban legend, I left some reading material scattered around, and when she suggested a different location for the camping trip, all while doing a terrible job of masking her anxiety, I knew it was game on. Between the scattering of skeletal trees, I set up our tent. "Oh, sure," Emma begged me to find a better, aka less scary spot. But at the same time, the soles of her feet were raw slabs of beef from a 20-mile hike, so she eventually relented. After we tucked into our pot of stew, we turned in for the night, knowing the first sudden noise would spook her. I waited. Out of nowhere, she sat bolt upright in her sleeping bag. "What the fuck was that?" We listened as wind howled through the trees. I pretended a dry cramp seized my throat. "It's the tall man." She threw her arms around me, her eyes pooling with tears. "Make it stop, please." In a high, frightened voice, I said, "The legends say the only way is to confess our sins. What bad things have we done?" Unable to speak, she just lay there, trembling. Secretly rolling in my eyes, but outwardly maintaining the act, I said, "I'll go first. The last house I rented, I salted the garden because the landlord wouldn't return my deposit. And last month, I accidentally stole a Mars bar and didn't go back to pay for it." She took several deep breaths. Shuddery breaths. "I killed your college girlfriend. The one you were dating before we met. I slit her throat and filled her backpack with rocks and dumped her body in the Blackstaff River. While I lay there shocked, tree branches snapped together roughly." Emma squealed and quickly added, "And I killed that intern from your work too, the flirty one. I cut her up and dumped her the pieces in a landfill." Outside, the wind eased and the forest went to sleep. After 10 seconds of silence, Emma let out a sigh of relief, then pulled me in close.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Ew.
Pretty fun, huh?
Yes, sir.
How many more stories you got, Tay?
I like that one.
I have
Yeah, that's a fun one.
one, like, not crappy story, like a crappy pasta, and then I have 1, 2, 3, like.
Okay, perfect. I have one final one, but I'm going to save it for the end.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to share or what you want to do, but
Yeah.
I'm down for whatever.
All right. So this one, Marty, when you are ready for the sound. Jesse's Pig Farm by user JD British. Just back from the sheriff's station after 12 hours. My own fault, really. Never been shy about bad mouthing that sumbitch Glenn. Been missing 2 weeks now and I ain't sad about it. "See here, Jesse," says Donlin. We all know you had an issue with your son-in-law. 12 hours of questionings and some insinuations. I told him, Sheriff, I'm a 5'0" hog farmer. Can't even take a piglet in a fight, and you reckon I'd done for that useless oaf? Oaf was being polite. He was a violent bully. Tried to get my girl away from him so many times, but she was so broken and beaten down, literally, that she even defended him. Defended the guy that drank all of her wages. The guy that denied to my face he had issues. Odd that my daughter and grandbaby got so clumsy only when he took pills or booze. No other time. I begged her to leave him, but she wouldn't. They lived on my property, so I saw it all, despite the denials. Saw our bruises, saw the tiny bruises on baby Tyler. My husband, Jeb, wasn't sure about Glenn being a wrong'un, not like I was, but then he wasn't that different. Never broke any bones, unless a heart has bones. Plenty of that in our marriage. I do miss him sometimes. I don't know what happened to Glenn. Didn't kill him, though. I didn't lie about that. Found him wandering onto the farm one day from his place, drunk as a skunk. Wasn't uncommon. Told him to stay away from my pigs. He was given to trying to ride Big Bella when he was sauced. She's my favorite. She'll never be dinner. A Yorkshire, huge, friendly. Jeb had her earmarked for Easter one year. Never happened, though. Found Glenn on the farm a couple weeks ago. Must have been drunk again and passed out. He passed out in Bella's pen. Maybe hit his head. Maybe there was blood. Bella was halfway through him when I arrived. Nothing I could do by then. Do you know the pigs can eat a whole human, bones and all? They don't like hair or teeth much, though, but those are easily disposed of. Don't worry about Bella. She'll be fine. She was last time, a few years ago, just before Easter.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I do know that pigs can eat people.
Yes, I also knew that.
Robert Pickton, which we'll cover on HGO at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking psychopath, I guess. Yeah, that's a fun story.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, just like beating my daughter? I don't think so. Maybe something happens to you. Maybe you get fed to pigs.
Maybe you hit your head.
That was fun. That was a fun story.
That was a fun one. This next one.
Yes.
Is the thing that stalked me in the Tasmanian Highlands by user Yadikobras.
Yadikobras, we've done Yadikobras before.
But not this one.
Yeah, we have had them. We've covered some of their stories before. I just can't remember off the top of my head what they were.
I don't remember, but all right. I was on a 5-day trek in the Tasmanian Highlands, and on day 2, I camped out on the edge of a lake for the night. Started a small fire, although it was illegal to do so since it was a national park. Suddenly felt as if something was watching me. I noticed something stalking me. I couldn't see it, just the outline, but it was vaguely human-like. It had been 10 days since my breakup, and I knew they were stalking me. That was the reason I trekked all the way out into this wilderness, but this was ridiculous. I got out my electronic luminescence device. They used the new light-emitting diode technology and appraised the light beam at the form. It was not my ex. It was a scary monster with eyes like a skeleton and meat for bones. We dined on dried meat, cheese, and bread that night. Around my small illegal fire, we drank tea.
that was great. Marty, good work on that. While you're telling that story, Marty was doing this, and you'd throw up the. I go, That was great. That was fun.
All right, you ready for some more?
Yep. These are the last ones you have here.
Yeah.
All right.
These two. Ready, Marty?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right. So by user Puzzle-Headed Ease 9802.
These are some 2-sentence horror stories.
Yes, so they're kind of short.
Get really short, so get ready.
I asked for his name after I let him in the house. It was Mr. McKillyouface.
Oh my God. That reminds me, I don't know if it was the last episode we did, the one before, where it was like, I hope I'm alone. And it was like, no, you're not, said knife guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This one is user Powerful Trifle 6901. 69. We went over to a friend's house to play Mario Kart. Then he started pulling out the Vienna sausages. Those are my stories. That's all I got.
All right. I will do the final story.
Perfect.
And not only that, but I'm bringing back an old favorite.
Old favorite.
Bringing back an old favorite, which I feel like should be something that we should tell every single time we do these. And I feel like it's the best possible way to close out this episode. I don't want you to even look at my screen as I read this, okay? I will pull it up over here. You can put your hands down. Marty, I'm going to need some really ambient music, some real scary shit for this last one. Ready?
I'm ready.
It's pretty scary.
All right.
Man and girl go out to drive under moonlight. They stop on the side of the road. He turned to girl and say, "Baby, I love you very much." "What is it, honey?" "Our car is broken down. I think the engine is broken. I'll walk and get some more fuel." "Okay, I'll stay here and listen and look after our stereo. There are a report of stereos being stolen." "Good idea. Keep the doors locked no matter what. I love you, sweaty." So the guy left to get full for the car. After 2 hours, the girl say, "Where is my baby? He was supposed to be back by now." Then the girl hear a scratching sound and a voice say, "Let me in." The girl doesn't do it, and after a while, she goes to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up and finds her boyfriend is not there. She gets out to check, and man, door, hand, hook, car, door. Yeah! Man, door, hook, hand, car, door. Yes.
I read the first sentence and I knew exactly what it was.
Yes. Thank you so much on joining us in another Reddit Stories episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens. It's always a fucking blast, and it's always fun telling scary stories. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to, like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Rate it 5 stars in listening apps. Yep, do that. Go ahead. If you're on Apple, just go ahead and just write 5 stars and just write, I don't know, hot dog. Or just write a nice recipe of your favorite kind of food. Or whatever. Share a link to a different podcast that's not irrelevant to us. Maybe the doc. I don't fucking know. If you want to follow us on our socials, you can at HGOPodcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to tell us a scary story, a real life scary story, or whatever it may be, your encounters with cryptids, aliens, ghosts, whatever. Did you encounter a serial killer? Did you door, hook, hand, car door? Fuck off. And Jesus Christ, Marty. It's throwing me off. And Mandor, Heckan, Cardor, you can email us HGOPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly on Instagram, you can at IHuntTheHaunted. Go check it out. Tay. Yes.
That's it. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. I'm not very good at posting, but I'll probably be posting more because we are T-minus 6 days.
T-minus 6 days
our
till
puppy
puppy
is here.
Yep.
So I'll probably be posting way too much about that. So.
Yep, it's happening.
Marty.
You can follow me on Instagram at GhettoFeather, and I hope you enjoyed the sounds.
Yes, it was very fun. And remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And man, door, hook, hand, car, door. Ah!
Wait, one more of these for good measure.
See you next week.